us casserole. You say casserole, most people think of the big 9 by 13 inch pan about 2 inches deep and feed a dozen people or more, but I'm going to make this one for just 2 people. They're real simple and they're very good. Well, I've got everything together here that I'm going to use in the casserole. I've got sausage here, which I will cube. If you have pre-cooked and crumbled sausage, that works just as well. A couple eggs, some broccoli, green onions, French bread, cheese, and I'll have some milk and things like that in it. But I'll do the prep work now and then show you putting it together. Well, I've got the sausage cubed up here, and I'll take about this much of a French bread, and that'll make enough for 2 people. First thing I want to do is cut the bread up into cubes. There's nothing precise about this, just cube it up. It's kind of like making bread pudding. Can't hardly go wrong. And this is a size pan here for 2 people. Just put the bread in there, and it looks like I probably made too much. That's going to be about it, and I can save this other here for some other purpose. So I want to put the bread in there, the cubed up sausage. And I'll start working on the other things that go in there. Got my green onions here. Got the blades left over from cutting some of them for another purpose. And the blades have just as much onion flavor in them as the bottom does. In fact, more in some cases. You just chop those up. Can't hardly have too many onions. Throw those in there. And chop the broccoli. Clock says it's 1 o'clock. I'm making this afternoon, and it'll go in the refrigerator for tonight and finish up in the morning. You can use any kind of vegetables you want. Spinach works fine in there, broccoli fine, asparagus. It's just hard to make the wrong kind of materials in a casserole. Get rid of the leftovers. Just start tumbling all of this together here. So it's kind of, everything's mixed through it. Looks like I'm going to have a little bit too much bread in there, so I'm going to take a few of those out. Just fold them in there. No precise way of making it or anything. That's the beauty part of it. Don't let the sausage get away. And some shredded cheese. Use any kind of cheese you want. This just happens to be Mexican blend here. Couple handfuls. That's the thing about a casserole, it's not precisely measured. And fold that in. Now we want about a cup of milk or something like that. That amount there would be about that much. And this is when you need to salt it, and you need enough salt for not only the eggs but everything else. And finally, a good measure of black pepper. And just simply pour this over the rest of it. And mash the bread down into the liquid. There it is, and put a lid over it. Put it in the refrigerator. And we'll take it out tomorrow morning and bake it. You're probably wondering why I'm wearing a hat at the table. Well, it becomes part of this story on down the way, and you'll see. It all began a number of years ago. I was invited to attend a Western Artists Roundup in New Mexico. They were going to have a week-long gathering on the Curry Ranch, and everything had to be authentic there because they wanted original things for patterns, and I decided it was a great place to go take a bunch of pictures. So I joined the group. Everything there had to be authentic, no dome tents, no Coleman coolers, or anything like that. They hired a guy with an original Good Night Ranch chuck wagon to come there and cook for us for the week. This is one of the photos that I took while I was there. It's of my cowboy teepee, and I got one of the artists there to pose for me in the flap of it. And the name of the picture is Morning Stretch. It won several awards, including being used as a cover on Western Horseman magazine. While we were there, Kenny Rogers and his film crew showed up, and they were taking movies for use in his TV show called The Cowboys. And they had dinner with us. And while we were there, I killed a rattlesnake. And I wanted to save the skin, so I was skinning it, and they were all gathered around watching me. And I cut the skin just behind the snake's head, wrapped his head in a rag so it wouldn't get a fang out into me. Even though it was dead, a rattlesnake's still very dangerous as long as he has his head. And I took a pair of pliers and caught his skin and just rolled it off of him like that. And one of the cameramen was there and he went, blah! Everybody had a good laugh about that. But anyway, then I salted it and rolled it up to take it home, and it became this hat band here. While we were eating dinner that night, the only thing that's furnished to eat out of the chuck wagon is a metal plate and a spoon, big spoon. And they didn't have forks. If you need a knife, you'd use your own knife. Well, Rogers was sitting right there next to me, and he was working on a piece of meat about the size of a golf ball, and he said, "Somebody got a knife to cut this thing up with?" And I pulled out my pocket knife, and is this one right here that I've had since I was in the Army. I stole it out of a field telephone kit. It's a lineman's knife made by Case. And I said, "Which blade do you want? The one that I cleaned my toenails with, or the one that I cut the snake's head off?" And he said, "Well, I don't think I want either one of them." That was used in their movie. Well, the timer went off on 45 minutes, so it should be done. Look at it here. Oh yes, it's raised on top and browned and looks and smells great. Now to get it out of there and into the plate. See if I can get a spatula under that. Just right fit. Except at the bottom it doesn't quite fit. Well, it looks like I'm going to wreck it, but who cares? here. My wife's still in bed. She doesn't feel well this morning, and she said she thought she would pass on breakfast. But I still made this. Finish this casserole for you folks on the YouTube. And garnish it with a couple slices of tomato here. And it's ready to go to the table. And the clock tells me it's breakfast time. Well, here it is on the table, and it looks and smells fantastic. I'm going to have me a breakfast now.